If you didn't see the video, the last video I did, which was when I went down to the storage yard to check on the motorhome, and I had some idea of how to keep the cushions away from the outside walls, I've actually purchased the material now. So what I'll do is I'll give you a quick little idea of what, from the last video, what I thought I was going to do, and I'll show you the materials. So if you want to keep watching, I'll show you what I'm going to do. We'll see you in a bit then. Right, so if you look at the seats on British built ones, there is like a board or something that's got an air gap behind it. On this, on both sides, the cushions are sat right back against the wall, and if it's cold and you've got the heating on, you can actually feel they've put something in the back of these cushions to stiffen them up a bit, but you can feel the dampness on the wall. So what I'm thinking of doing is just some small lats, just to give a little bit of an airflow, and the gap for the airflow. And on the small lats I've put some boarding, but I'd also move those away as well as much as I can, just to give us a bit of airflow behind those boards. Right, hello, I'm outside now. I went to the DIY store and bought some hard plywood. It's 1829 by 607 wide, and it's 3.6 millimeters thick. I didn't want it too thick, but I don't want to push it too far off. So as you can see, it's fairly thin stuff. And I also bought some thin strips of wood as well. They're 9 millimeters wide. So I've by 34 millimeters. So that'll just give a little bit of an air gap, 9mm air gap behind the boarding. So what I'll do now is I'll start measuring and cutting, and then I'll show you how we're going to fit them in motorhome. Right, let me get on with my work. See you later on. Bye. Right, that's the one that goes under the passenger side, but I think the passenger side, which has got the two cushions on it. There's enough room to put air gap at the back, so when I go down I'll try that. Hopefully I've got that height right. I'm not 100% sure till I get down there and try it. So that's the one on the passenger side. This is the one for the driver's side with a single cushion. So I'll put 3 lats on that to give you a bit of air gap. Round at corners off as well, just to so there's no sharp edges when you're setting like put up passenger seats. Also under the same seat I've cut that to go over the fold down seat, which will hopefully support the actual there's a helicopter coming, support the actual cushions, and also stop that arm flopping on that side, hopefully. Right, I've also cut that to go the seat on the passenger side, because that step there, and when you sit on cushions it twists everything. I'm not sure whether I'm going to move the cushions around yet. I'll just see how everything goes when I've fitted them in. So when I go down to motorhome to fit them, I'll take you with me and I'll show you me fitting them and what they look like after I've fitted them, and if they're any good or not. Right, so we'll see you when we get down to motorhome. Bye for now. Right, hello again. Here we are now in motorhome. I'm down at storage yard now. I'm going to try and fit these bits and see what they look like, and hopefully it'll make the seat a bit firmer so the cushions don't wobble all over underneath, and also give us that air gap behind the cushion that goes against the walls. Right, I'll show you of me fitting them and after they're fitted, and I've also got another idea which is for the 2 single beds, but I'll show you that a bit later on. Right, we'll get on with fitting them now. See you in a bit. Right, I'll take all the cushions off and I'll show you what I've made and what I've done, and once I've fitted them I'll show you what it looks like. Okie dokie. Right, if you remember I made that one, that's to sit into that position there, which stops that wobbling there, and that fits nicely over there. And it stops that wobbling about. Still wobbles a bit, but it's a lot better. And that feels better because you used to sink to this side, so that's a lot better. That you can actually sit comfy like that. That's one good job done. So you remember that's the back bit. Just got to sort out the height for that. So that sits behind there. Yep, I'll show you that gap now. Okay. Right, so as you can see, you've got to fix it to wall, but you've got a gap behind there and the cushion sits, so you've actually got a gap behind the cushion and the wall. Just got to position that right, so the cushion's not sitting against that back wall. Right, so I'll not bore you with me sort of measuring up and fitting them. I might fit one and just show you fitting it in fast speed, but I'll not show you me fitting it on the other side. I'll show you when it's completed. Rightio, I'll get on with fitting them now. I'm going to screw it because I've got some nice screws and everything else is screwed to the side at motorhome, so I'm just going to screw it onto the side at motorhome. Rightio, I'll get on with fitting them. Right, so what I'm going to do is make sure that is central to where the cushion sits, and I'm going to measure down because we're not level, so it's no good using a spirit level, is it? So I'm going to measure down from the window just to get it level like that, and then I'm going to put some little screws in back, and hopefully that will be perfect. I'm only screwing in with a manual screwdriver because if you use an electric one it could strip the actual thread that goes in, or the back material, so you're better just doing it by hand. Perfect. I've countersunk these holes as well, so the screws go in flat as well. Right, so that's fitted, and you've got a 9mm air gap down there. Plenty firm enough, and I've left a bit of a gap underneath to let air flow up. Easy peasy. And it cost me less than £30 to make all these bits, and I've got enough wood left over to do something to bed as well. Right, just to check a few things before I start on the other side. I've probably put it into travel seat mode, and hopefully you can see there is a bit of a gap there, but it doesn't impede with any arm movements or anything like that, so I'm quite happy with that. So you can see there's a bit of a gap, but I'm quite happy with that. I rounded the corners off so there's no sharp edges. So hopefully that will help. Right, I'll get on with the other side now. I'm quite happy with that. Right, that's that one done. Now we've got an air gap down the back. We haven't added too much weight neither. What I'll do now is I'll put this one into travel seat mode, and we'll just see how that impedes on the travel seat or not. I don't think it will. I think it's actually better on the other side, because that's further back, so I think that's going to be a lot better. Well, put it in travel seat mode and we can see what it's like. Right, so it's in travel seat mode now, and as you can see that's even better on this side, because you haven't got, with it being double, it sits further back, so that's even better. And like I say, grandkids can put the tablets or the books down into that little slot down there. Same on the other side. Well, I think I've done a good job there. And these bits of plywood that I'm using on both sides be thin enough just to store under the bed. One for in travel seat mode. As you can see, that's a lot better. I'm going to keep them cushions that way around now. I was thinking of swapping them round, but I've got to make some kind of packing if I need to, because that, like I say, you remember the video, that cushion's shorter. That's a lot better. Like I say, we've got that gap down the back now, haven't we? So that's going to keep them cushions off the wall. And also, when we sit down here, when we sit down in this corner, it actually feels comfortable. Used to be, like you say, wobbling away that way, so Karen likes to put her feet up on this side and lounge. Right, so when grandkids get off, hopefully cushions will stop on because of that baseboard I've put underneath. So things are looking a bit better. Bit of thought goes into a few things, and hopefully, but that feels a lot better now. It'll stop that moisture build up behind these cushions. I'm happy with that now. Right, I'll show you this other thing with the beds. Right, I'm in the bedroom now, and I'll show you what I want to do with this bed. Because Chausson aren't consistent in what they do. They've put the mattresses on, but they've put something to keep the mattress away from the wall. But the cushions in the living room part, they haven't put anything behind the cushions to keep them away from the wall. I just can't work it out. But they put these stupid little plastic things, and it's only got about 3 screws in it, and they stick up above bed a little bit, so when you're asleep you sometimes catch them with your hand and that. So I'm going to try a similar idea to what I'd done down there, and I've got a long thin strip of wood left over, so hopefully I can do the same as what I've done down in the front lounge. Right, I'll show you these plastic well, I don't know what you call them, plastic strips they've put on, but right, we'll show you now. Right, so like you said, they've put those on and it keeps the mattress away from the wall, which is understandable. Right, so when you're asleep you end up with getting your fingers caught behind it because they've only put 3 screws in. I mean, the whole thing comes away. It's rough on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3 screws. And this one's only got 3 screws and it's longer. So I'm gonna take them off totally and do a similar exercise as to what I've got. Because like you say, it's just flimsy. But like I say, they're not consistent. So if they've made these so they don't touch wall, why don't they do it in front lounge? But that's me being picky again. But I shall sort that one out. When I'm making those and fitting those, I'll show you what I'm doing with them as well. And hopefully we don't get his fingers trapped down these, because he can go a little bit lower as well. I mean, you've got that much, you know, they could go down another 20-30 mil. So get rid of that crap plastic things and I'll make some wooden ones. I don't know whether you actually found this useful, but I think it's going to make it a lot better. There'll be no, like you said, there's airflow, and when we're out and about in cold weather and we've got heating on, there shouldn't be any dampness between the outer wall and the cushions. Like I say, I just can't understand why Chausson haven't done this type of thing, but I'm not the designer. All I want to do is make it a lot better for us and hopefully stop dampness being created inside the motorhome. So I hope you have found it useful and you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give me that little thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It'll help my channel grow a little bit. And don't forget to click that little notification bell. It'll tell you when I've uploaded some more videos. I've got some more industrial ones to upload in the future around Bridge, and also some improvements to motorhome. So don't forget, if you like what you see, don't forget to give me a comment as well, and I'll always answer to comments. Right, so we'll end this video now because I'm starting to ramble on too much again. I'm going into this vlogging now, you see. So what I'll do is I'll leave it here and we'll see you in the next video. And I'd just like to thank you all for watching. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now. But we'll try it anyway. I got the spare wood anyway. Marcus also do. Ron Farris, if anybody remembers him. Diamond Kangaroo.